my way heading towards the coast. What I'm going to do is drive out to the Croatan National Forest and hike the Neusiok Trail. Fortunately, right now it's February and we got great weather. It's going to be 60 degrees. I think the nighttime low tonight is 53, which is awesome. So here's the Neusiok Trail, and you can see the area up here used to be the recreation area, but now you got to start down here. So I'm doing it reverse. So I'm gonna, you can see it all the way down to Oyster Point Campground, which is like down here. I'm gonna ride my bike there. I'm gonna hike all the way back. And then tomorrow when I get up here, I'm gonna see if I can go visit that and then come back over here, or maybe hike down the road. We'll see. Can't say I've done this before. So it's about an hour ride, hour and 20 minutes, something like that. We'll get to the other end and start hiking. I made it to the Oyster Point Campground. It was about a 14.5-mile bike, and you can see the water over there. The trail actually starts right here. You can see some of the signs, mile 0, and no one's here. I'm gonna try to go and get some water. I think they have water at the campground right here. Let's get going. Stash my bike right there, hoping it's there when I get back. We'll see, fingers crossed. I'm not even 100 yards in, and man, it'd be nice to just like hang out here. Just starting out the hike, left Oyster Point Campground, and so far it's pretty nice. You can see the trail's pretty clear. So today I'm gonna hike, the first shelter is about 2.5 miles, maybe 2.2 miles. There's a campground, an informal campground according to Far Out, at 3.4 miles. I'm hoping to get to there. There really doesn't seem to be much past that. I know it's like forest roads or just gravel roads, long straight roads, and it's swampy land, so not a lot of opportunity for finding a camp spot, at least with a tent. Here you can see that. It's kind of cool. So I brought my tent. I thought about bringing the hammock. I'll see what the shelter's like. Like you can already see, it's getting kind of wet here. I'll see what the shelter's like, and then I'll probably push on to the next one because I still have daylight. Now we're getting swampy. Somebody didn't like that sign. It's getting a little bit darker, so I had to pull out the headlamp. Also, hopefully, between here and the shelter, I don't have to walk through water, because that could be interesting. I would like to have dry shoes tonight, so that tomorrow I can, here, let's brighten this a little bit. There you go. I would like to have dry shoes tonight, so tomorrow I can, did you hear that boom? I'm thinking that's from the military base. So I can start the day with feet that aren't cold. It's kind of interesting back here because you got the light above. Here, let me turn on the headlamp. You can see the lights. But in the trees here, it's pretty dark. All right, looks like the trail goes that way. But over here's a shelter. I think this is the Blackjack Lodge shelter. Look at that, pretty nice. Nice tent sites. There's no getting off trail here. Look at that. That is thick. It's on both sides. According to the far out map, it said this is a informal campsite with a lean-to. I'm guessing this is the lean-to. But I did find a little spot here. It's very soft and relatively flat. So this is home for the night. Hey, good morning. It is day 2 of 2 days, and decided to sleep in a little bit. Usually I get up 5-ish and just slept in today. It was a pretty eventful day yesterday as far as activities. I woke up early in the morning and ran 3 miles. I've been trying to do a mile a day. I was feeling pretty good yesterday, so I ran 3 miles and I walked my dog. We usually go a couple miles. We did maybe 2.5, and then I worked, and then before leaving, walked him again. Drove out to the trailhead, and I had looked into getting a shuttle driver, but then thought about it more and decided I would just ride my bike. So my bike was in the car. I got on my bike and rode from one trailhead to the other. It was about 15 miles. When I got to the southern terminus, Oyster Point Campground, I hooked it to a tree, put on my backpack, and then hiked to where I am now. Finally leaving this morning. It's a little past 8 o'clock. This is that lean-to, I think, that was mentioned on the Far Out app, but this is that creek that you have to cross, and it's pretty deep. If you use your trekking poles, then they go right in. So I was able to cross by stepping on those logs. I'm guessing someone, maybe they tore down the lean-to and used it to cross, but that was the home last night, and you can see the trails right there. So this is what the trail was like last night, except you couldn't really see it. This thick brush and trees and limbs and all that, really just everywhere. It just goes back and back. I definitely appreciate the folks that cut the trails through here, 'cause this is nice. I'm probably gonna jinx myself by saying this, but the trail seems a bit drier than I remember. Okay, I think I jinxed myself. Huh. It's a pretty big one. Let's see. I think we can get around this. Oop. Yeah. But this one does not look as easy. Uh-oh. Look at this one. Yes. It is getting interesting. I guess I did jinx myself. I can't imagine what this is like after some rains. It's actually pretty nice being able to skirt around the edges. You can see it goes both directions. And I don't know how much longer it'll go, but it is interesting. It changes the trail up a little bit. What do we have here? A bridge. Yeah, I shouldn't have said the trail was pretty dry. This isn't actually too bad, but I mostly can get around it. I probably should just go through it. And I already got one of my feet wet. And it's not that bad. Mile 5. That's cool how they put the coordinates on it. A little bumpy through here. If anyone says there are no hills on the Neusiok, they're wrong. Interesting. I can't see it, and it sounds like it's going away, but there's a air station right next to the forest. That's a big blowdown. Oh, they rerouted around it. About to start the road walk, and I decided to take a break here for a minute to grab something to eat and some water. It's been a nice trail so far. I gotta say, I give credit to those that maintain it. It's been clear. There's been no branches or even just trimming the brush on the side. Sure, there's some water at places, but what are you going to do? We're walking through a swamp. As far as just ease of access to and knowing where to go, it's just top notch. I've been enjoying this, and can't beat the weather. It's a little cooler, so as you warm up and hike, it's not so bad. Really digging this. Got a straight road walk now for a little bit, so put on some sunscreen and just maybe pick up the pace a little bit. .6. This is my first trip with my new backpack. I've been using an Osprey that I bought, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and it served me well. But as I've hiked more and more, I've been trying to change things up, bring less stuff, reduce weight, you know, all the stuff that everybody does. And I was hesitant to actually replace the backpack, and finally did. I know, right? It probably should have been one of the first things I did, but I got this ULA Catalyst, which is still a fairly large pack if you're going to consider like ultralight packs and whatnot. But this one is considerably lighter than my previous one. I also like how it's essentially just a big bag. There are some pockets, but not many. So you just stuff everything in and then roll it down, and then I have the strap that I put on for my pad. While most of this trail is actual trail through woods and what you would expect, there is about a 2-mile road walk on this gravel road, and it's just straight. You pop out onto it on one side, walk 2 miles, and then you're on the other side. Get off. So that gentleman right there on the bike just stopped, and he's out here riding. I think just riding. He was talking about riding on a lot of the trails, and he got buzzed while I was there. A fire. I think he's a volunteer fire and rescue person. That's interesting. Mile 8. Just passed them over that bridge, and there were workers from the Carteret County Trail Club, I think that's the name, and they were repairing the bridge. I was thanking them for all they do and letting them know that how well maintained this trail is and how much we appreciate it. It's folks like that love the trail, love the outdoors, and make it so that we can come and enjoy these places. This is one of the few places where it really opened up. I'm guessing it is dry at the moment because this bridge is not going over much, and there's another bridge that I imagine when it's wet it's nice. But right now it's not so bad. You can actually get around most of this. Here's one of the bridges. You can see they've done some repairs. 0.75 miles to the road. Let's go check out the shelter. This is the Dogwood Shelter. Check that out, hammock stands. I've never seen that at a campground before. That's pretty nice. Lots of space for tents here. Toad Wallow. Lucky number 13. This is definitely the land or the section of the bridges. Haven't had any as long as that previous one yet, but it goes between dry land and Cottonmouth Spa. And goes between the dry, just the higher ground, and this swampy area. The time and effort that it takes to build this, especially in areas like this right here, definitely appreciate it. Poor little bridge, probably doesn't get much love. I wonder if this was an intentional burn. Imagine so. As you can see, everything's much lower on that side of the trail. There are no trees burned on this side. earlier, I came across the trail maintenance crew from the Carteret County club, and in talking to the leader of the group, well, I had mentioned to him about the campsite that I stayed at and how there's supposed to be a lean-to, and he said that property is not on Forest Service land and really shouldn't be a campsite. It was a nice campsite, you know, assuming you can get across the little creek there, but it's too bad. It is on far out, so I wonder how long it's going to stay on far out. Because if others are hiking like me, when I got to the shelter, I saw that campsite was only a mile, a little more than a mile past it, so I decided to push on to get that extra mile in, and I assume others probably would do the same. If that hadn't been on the map, I probably would have just stayed at the shelter that night. Last time I was here, they didn't have the screening on the bridges, and it's pretty nice. I guess it helps with the mildew, and these little creeks with all the ferns is really cool back in here. All right, this is the bridge that I remember being crooked. Those cypress stumps. All these cables. Much better now. Hills are getting a little bigger on the north end of the trail. This is the Copperhead shelter. No horses. We're pretty far off the horse trail, I believe. Is that a pine with clothes on? And that one that's naked? Man, those planes are close. I want them to come over. Walking through swamp with fighter jets in the background. This one's a little rickety. Mile 20. The trail is 21.1 miles long. Years ago, a hurricane hit and damaged the Pinecliff recreation area, which is where the trail ends. The trail hasn't been reopened all the way to that point yet, and instead you have to take a detour to the Pinecliff equestrian trailhead. I realized back at the Copperhead shelter that that's a little extra distance. I was thinking I only had, I think at that point, 3 miles to go, a little more than that. Turns out I had 5.5 miles to go. I feel like one of these trees, I don't think it was that one that's that close, but maybe that one. One time I came with the kids and we took a break there. We are getting close to the water. Interesting. Made it to the Neuse River, and it's gotten pretty cold up here. I feel like every time I hike it gets cold. It feels nice though. I like hearing the water. This is part of the horse trail. You can see a hitching post right there and a picnic table, but it's pretty nice. You could choose to walk on the beach. I don't think that's technically the trail, you know, but that's fine. An old sign. Hey, guess what? The trail is on the beach. I just followed the signs on the trees, not even paying attention. Then I read my map right. So this is really an interesting trail. As I started yesterday, kind of went through the wetlands, and then it was dry. Then today we did some pine forest, we had some forest roads, went back through some areas where it was a little bit swampy where the streams passed. And then we hit the Neuse. This is where it opens up into the ocean, but you got this beach, which is really Really pretty and different and cold. It's a cool tree. Is that a mama bird? And baby bird? We're going to do a little exploring. Here's the start of the Neusiok. I don't think they have their milepost up. Here we go. 21.7. This is a really nice recreation area. I don't know why they haven't maintained it. Maybe one day they'll reopen this and Mountain to Sea Trail can come back over here. Looks like there used to be a picnic area right here. Time to get back on the Neusiok. Okay, back on the route. So I wanted to go exploring to check out the other end of the Neusiok. Some years ago, I hiked from there south with my son and camped for a night. We didn't make it all the way. We just went as far as we wanted and then turned around. And so I decided to go along the beach to that area, and then eventually I had to go up and find the old trail. And it makes me wonder why it's closed. I can see maybe the recreation area closed. Seems like at least for the trail, they could still have you hike there and then turn on the forest road. I'm not really sure why this area is not open for hikers, at least, and for anyone who might want to do the whole Neusiok to get to that last mile. There's these little bumps that I've seen before in forest that I think was a pine forest. I don't know if it's something to do with pines or why. If anyone knows, I'd like to know. I don't even know what to Google. Bumps, rolling bumps in pine forest. These plants growing with the greens and yellows really pop against the black trunks of the pine trees. It's pretty cool. This is cool. All these pine trees are in straight lines. Parking lot it is. Oh, we got 3 colors right here. Just hit the 1 mile to go. Look, there's a dog. Got some puppies on the trail. You know how they always say take the road less traveled? Well, according to the guide and the parking lot signs, don't do that. Take the road most traveled. Almost there. That was a fun one. Long day today, a little bit longer than I expected. I was thinking it'd be around 17 or 18 miles. Turns out I'm a little over 21. Fortunately, it's flat for the most part, so I was able to have a pretty decent pace, and it's not dark at the end. There we go. Neusiok Trail done. All right, in the car. The car was not touched. It was good. Hopping in. Now I'm driving to go get my bike at Oyster Point Campground. Came back to the campground to get my bike, and check this out. Prescribed burn. Yes, it's still there. All right.